the day which is one of the richest days, but certainly the darkest and the somber day of the entire church in the year is Holy Saturday or Gospel Saturday. Holy Saturday is a day of silence, emptiness, absence, and a day of heartbroken grief. We do not even have a crucified one to gaze upon. The light that burns year around no longer flickers, and our tabernacle stands open and empty. As Christ rested in the tomb on this Holy Saturday, he brought life from death and light from darkness. All of a sudden, a new dimension of human existence explodes into the present, one liberated from the powers of sin and death, one from the light and life of risen Jesus. This is a day that all the churches easily overlook and forget. But it is a day that all the churches need. It is a day that makes our faith real. There are very few of us who have not known a dark night of the soul, to use John of Cross expression. It is a day we could not feel, could not believe, maybe even could not hope that God is anything like a reality. Holy Saturday is a day that comes in between Holy Friday and Holy Easter. This divine day commemorates the day that Jesus Christ lay in the tomb after his death. It is also known as Easter Eve or Black Saturday. In Mexico, Holy Saturday is known as Judas Day, where people burn effigies of Judas Iscariot, who betrayed Jesus only for 30 pieces of silver. It is also known as Vigil of Easter. Traditionally, it is a time of reflection and waiting. Unlike the hosannas of Palm Sunday and the glory of Easter that we yearn for, Holy Saturday speaks most directly about the reality of our lives. After the shock of death, or words like cancer, divorce, terminal downsizing, we find ourselves living with the what next of life, and we enter into the dark void of unknowing. This is where many of us live from time to time, isn't it? Yes, there are times when we experience the stark, gut-wrenching pain of Good Friday, and there are also times when we know jubilation of Easter. Holy Saturday is the time between death and resurrection. It is a valley of grief and unknowing for us as well as for the first disciples. On this day, we and they do not know what the future is going to bring us, whether the cancer will be cured or we find a job that fulfills our calling. It is a time of uncertainty. We only have to keep still. Through the grace of God, we must be patient. We must wait for the wind of the Spirit. We must wait for the wind to blow on the dim embers of our faith. In Exodus chapter 14, as God leads Moses and Israelites out of Egypt at night, Israelites cry out to God in fear and uncertainty as they see the massive army of Pharaoh in the pursuit behind them, while in front of them is the sea. They are trapped in dark, fear, and faithlessness. It would have been better for us to serve the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. They cry out, but Moses tells them, "Don't be afraid. Stand firm and see the deliverance that Lord will accomplish for you today. The Lord will fight for you. You only have to keep still." It's so hard to keep still in the dark, isn't it? Yes, it's so hard to trust the wind of God's Spirit to blow on the dim embers of a cooling faith. Dear brothers and sisters, did you notice verses 19 and 20 in Exodus chapter 14? Yes, we can see the divine presence of God of angel blowing in the darkness blocks the oncoming threat of Egyptians' army. We can see that there will be light in the midst of darkness. Beloved, darkness is a part of every day, but there will be light ultimately. What would our lives with God look like if we really trust this rhythm of darkness and light instead of fighting it? We should reconcile to God. Our baptism is a sign of reconciliation. when we are marked as Christ's son forever. So, here the invitation of God through the prophet Isaiah. How everyone who thirsts for hope, for joy, for light, for reconciliation comes to the waters. We may find ourselves living in the darkness right now, but just wait. Wait for the dawn of hope and resurrection. Dear beloved brothers and sisters, the essence of Holy Saturday is God did not promise us days without pain, laughter without sorrow, sun without taste, but He did promise us strength for the day, comfort for the tears, and light for our way. So let me here remind you these words before I conclude. How blessed is this night when earth and heaven are joined and we are reconciled to God.